हरिः ओम् नमः सर्वेभ्यः। अष्टाध्यायी परिचयः इत्यस्य अद्य 63तमः पाठः। अस्मिन् वर्गे समासस्य भेदानाम् अध्ययनं कुर्मः। शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। येनाक्षरसमाम्नायमधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयम्। अस्माकं वर्गस्य द्वे प्रयोजने अष्टाध्याय्याः आहत्य 600 सूत्राणां व्याख्यासहितम् उदाहरणसहितं च अध्ययनं, तथा च अष्टाध्याय्याः प्रथमाध्यायस्य प्रथमपादस्य द्वितीयपादस्य च कण्ठस्थीकरणम्। प्रारभामहे। समासप्रकरणस्य अध्ययनं पूर्वस्मिन् सप्ताहे अस्माभिः आरब्धं। तत्र प्राक्कडारात् समासः इति समासस्य अधिकारसूत्रम् अधीतं। तस्मात् पूर्वं समर्थः पदविधिः इति सर्वेषाम् अपि पदविधीनां कृते यत् सामर्थ्यम् आवश्यकं तस्य विधानम् अनेन सूत्रेण भवति। पदसम्बन्धी यो विधिः सः नित्यं समर्थाश्रितः एव बोध्यः इति अर्थः। मुख्यरूपेण त्रिप्रकारकाः पदविधिः। समासादिविधिः इति एकं, स्वरकार्यम् इति अपरम्, एंड विभक्तिकार्यम् इति तृतीयम्. ऑल दीज आर प्रेजेंट सीक्वेंशियली आफ्टर समर्थ पदविधिः। तदनन्तरं प्राक्कडारात् समासा इति समासप्रकरणस्य अधिकारसूत्रमपि अस्माभिः अधीतं। पूर्वस्य वर्गस्य अन्ते मया उक्तम् अस्य समासस्य एव केचन भेदाः बहवः प्रकाराः सन्ति, तेषाम् अध्ययनम् अस्मिन् वर्गे कुर्मः। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट। प्राक्कडारात् समासः इत्यस्मिन् अधिकारे पाठितैः सूत्रैः उक्ताः समासाः बहुप्रकारैः वर्गीकर्तुं शक्याः। देयर आर मल्टिपल वेज ऑफ क्लासिफाइंग and all these ways are mostly for understanding how a samas goes on. So except for one or two ways present over here, the real categorization doesn't depend when it comes to Ashtadhyayi sutras or when it comes to prakriyas, but it is more for our own understanding of how this samasa prakriya, how this samasa process goes up. So ghataka padarthanam drishtya vargikaranam. In the last class, we have seen the concept of Purvapadam and Uttarapadam, and what is the type of Purvapadam versus what is the type of Uttarapadam. Based on that, samasas can be classified into 6 different ways: Supsupa, Suptinga, Subnamna, Subdhatuna, Tingtinga, and Tingsupa. All these are Tritiya Ekvachana forms. So Supsupa, Suptinga, Subnamna, Subdhatuna, Tingtinga, Tingsupa. So this is 6 different types of samasas. I'm going to talk about this on the next slide. After that, the samasas can also be classified based on who is the pradhana padartha. So in the previous class, अस्माभिः गौणपदार्थः प्रधानपदार्थः इति सर्वं दृष्टमस्ति. तत्र समासे कः प्रधानपदार्थः इति दृष्ट्वा पूर्वपदार्थः प्रधानः अस्ति उत उत्तरपदार्थः प्रधानः अस्ति अत उत द्वे अपि पदार्थे प्रधाने एव स्तः, नो चेत् कश्चन तृतीयः एव पदार्थः प्रधानः अस्ति, तत्र विद्यमाने द्वे पदे तु गौणपदे एव स्तः इति दृष्ट्वा चतुर्भिः प्रकारैः, इत्युक्ते पूर्वपदार्थप्रधानसमासः, उत्तरपदार्थप्रधानसमासः, उभयपदार्थप्रधानसमासः, अन्यपदार्थप्रधानसमासः इति तस्य वर्गीकरणं क्रियते. The next is the one that is most well known, samasa samnya visheshena vargikaranam. So these are all the technical terms defined in Ashtadhyayi. These are all samnyas of Ashtadhyayi. So you have avyayi bhava samasah, tatpurusha samasah, dvandva samasah, bahuvrihi samasah, and kevala samasah. Kevala is not a samnya, but other than that, these 4 are actually samnyas like Vruddhi, Guna, Nadi, and so on. These are samnyas in Sutrapatha. Then there is a Vargikaranam based on the Vigraha Vakyam. So, Sitayaha Patihi is a Vigraha Vakya for Sitapati. And then Krishnasya Samipam is a Vigraha Vakyam for Upakrishnam. So, we have Anitya Samasaha and Nitya Samasaha. In this particular discussion, there is also something called as Aswapada Vigraha, Swapada Vigraha, and avigraha samasaha. So these are hidden over there, so I have not written them, but these are also categories in this particular discussion. Then we have some really specific type of samasas called aluk samasaha. An entire adhikara is dedicated for aluk samasaha. Then there is something called asamartha samasaha. Very few of you might be knowing about it. And then there is something called as gamakatvat samasaha. So the goal of today's class is actually go through all these Bhedas and understand what each of these terms mean, so that from next class onwards we might be able to start with the actual sutras, not even next class, 2 classes later, but we'll be able to start the sutras of the Samasa Prakaranam. These are the topics that usually are omitted or not focused in the introductory classes on Ashtadhyayi, specifically Ashtadhyayi Pravesha or specifically Parichaya classes like this, even Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi and so on. But I think an understanding of these concepts is extremely crucial to build your basic foundations of samasa, so that other sutras might be very easily understood and appreciated. So we are going to spend full 90 minutes of today's class in discussing these 6 different or 5 different ways of classifying samasas. प्रारभामहे घटक पदार्थान् अनुसृत्य समासस्य षड् भेदाः. इत्युक्ते घटक पदार्थान् अनुसृत्य समासः षट् प्रकारकः अस्ति. There is a karika, all of you have to memorize this. It's very nice to speak rhythmic. Supam supatinga namna dhatu nath tingam tika subante neti vidneyah samasa षड्विधो बुधैः. Typically in introductory classes, you are wired to think that a samasa is between 2 subantas. So one subanta combines with another subanta to give a samasa. The reason why you are taught like this in introductory samasa classes is because 99 or let me say 95% of samasas are like this, sup plus sup. But when it comes to the entire theory of samasas, this is just one of 6 categories. And what are these 6 categories? Supam supa, that is a sup plus sup. Supam tinga, sup plus ting. Supam namna, nama means pratipadika, sup plus pratipadikam. Supam dhatuna, so sup plus dhatu. So 4 categories where the first component is a sup. And then you have 2 more categories where the first component is ting. You have ting plus ting. And you have ting plus sup. So observe, there is also an asymmetry. There is a sup plus ting classified as one category. There is ting plus sup classified as another category. If you just take both of them together, saying it is one sup and one ting, then it becomes 5. But otherwise, in this karika, the norm is to classify them separately to have a total of 6 different types of samasas. So subantasya subantena sah samasaha. This is most common. All of you can give 100 examples. Sitayaha is a subanta, patihi is a subanta. It gives Sita patihi, that is subanta. So subantasya subantena sah samasaha. Understand this. I have also explained this in the previous class. Subanta plus subanta or any other process, it may be sup plus ting, sup plus nama, sup plus dhatu, whatever, samasa prakriyaya nityam pratipadikam siddhyati. Krut tadhita samasascha iti pratipadika samyakah samasah asti. Ataha when I say Sitayaha plus pati is equal to Sita patihi, it is a 2-step process. Sitayaha plus patihi gives Sita pati as a pratipadikam, and then you have sup pratyaya added, giving Sita patihi. So atra samasena pratipadikasya nirmanam bhavati. Krut tadhita samasascha iti sutramasti. This is supa, supam, supa. Supam is the shashti. Supam, supa, sah, samasaha bhavati. That's how the statement has to be completed. The next one is supam tinga. On the left hand side there is a subanta, on the right hand side there is a tinganta. This samasa can only be seen in Vedas, it is not seen in the Bhasha. So for example, there is an upasarga called pari, it is a subanta, and there is abhushayat, which is a tinganta. When you combine pari plus abhushayat, the resultant form paryabhushayat is actually a samasa in the Vedas. There is a reason why this is considered a samasa. You cannot simply consider it as a sandhi. There is a reason for that. Some swara karya is required, which is very crucial in the Vedas. So, Vedeshu etadrushaha subantasya tingantena saha samasaha drishyate. In the spoken language, bhashayam upasarga tingantayoho samasaha nasti. When you create a verb form like prekshate, which is a pra plus ikshate, tatra kopi samasaha nasti. It is a padadvayam. Pra iti bhinnam padam, ikshate iti bhinnam padam. एतयोः मध्ये संहिता अस्ति अतः संधिकार्यं कृत्वा प्रेक्षते इति रूपं सिद्ध्यति. But there is no samasa over here. And what is the proof? The proof is the famous karika that you all know. Samhitaikapade nitya nitya dhatu upasargayoho nitya samase. So the karika deals with dhatu plus upasarga as a separate entity and samasa as a separate entity. If dhatu plus upasarga would have been the samasa, there was no need to add a separate line in that karika saying nitya dhatu upasargayoho. So dhatu, that is the tinganta, when there is an upasarga before it, it is not a samasa. So paryabhushayat in the bhasha is not a samasa. Paryabhushayat in the Veda, in that specific particular context, is a samasa. But in all other places like prekshate or anvichhati and so on, is not a samasa in the bhasha. In which case, upasarga and tinganta. But if you take upasarga and krudanta, then suddenly it becomes a samasa, but it is the third type of samasa, supam namna. A krudanta is a pratipadika. So upasargena krudantasya samasaha avashyam bhavati. That is the third pratipadik. That is the third category. Subantasya pratipadikena saha samasaha. So kumbham karoti saha. इत्यत्र कुंभम इति सुबंतम अस्ति, कार इति क्रुदंतम अस्ति. So you have kru as the dhatu, you have ana as the pratyaya, kar iti krudantam siddhyati. This krudanta is a pratipadika, krut tadhita samasascha. प्रातिपदिकस्य अत्र सुबन्तेन सह समासे कृते कुंभकार इति आदौ प्रातिपदिकं सिद्ध्यति, अग्रे सुबुत्पत्तौ कुंभकारः इति रूपं सिद्ध्यति. So this is a samasa between a dhatu, between a subanta and a krudanta. It is subantasya pratipadikena sah samasaha. There was a very nice question about this on the group. The question was, is this an example of krudvrutti or is this an example of samasa vritti? This is an example of both, but they are stacked one above the other. Adau tatra krudvrutti asti. Krudvruttya eva an pratyayaha vidhiyate. If there is no krudvritti, ana cannot come. So in a step number 1, you have kumbham plus kru plus ana. That addition of ana is a krudvritti. After the krudvritti, there is a samasa vritti and you get the kumbhakara, finally giving the subutpatti. I'm going to talk about this in one of the classes in details, but I was very happy people are thinking and asking questions, so I just thought I'll spend a minute over here. So that is subantasya pratipadikena sah samasaha. The fourth is subantasya dhatuna sah samasaha. Only handful of examples are there. There are situations. I'm not going to teach this in this course. Maybe at some point later. But there is a nae, which is the subanta, the negation, na iti avyayam subanta. There is a jasa mokshane iti dhatuhu asti. There is a samasa of this naya with jasa, and then there is a krut pratyaya on the top of it. So now the equation is reversed. In the previous case, there was a first krud vritti and then there was a samasa vritti on the top of it. Here, first there is a samasa vritti. That is why I have explicitly written down brackets. There is a first a samasa vritti. You have a subanta combining with a dhatu. Nay plus jasa becomes a jasa. Like nay plus whatever mita becomes a mita. Like that, nay plus jasa becomes a jasa. And then there is a krut pratyay called ra. A jasa plus ra gives the famous word ajasra. Very well known, huge or in a large amount, big size and so on. That's ajasra. So this is one of the very handful of examples where a subanta undergoes a samasa with dhatu. We are not going to discuss this in our course. So subantasya subantena samasa, obviously we are going to talk. Subantasya tingantena samasa vedeshu eva asti atra charcha navashyaki. Subantasya pratipadikena samasa, yes, we will talk. The next one is tigantasya tingantena sah samasaha. So there are situations where one tinganta combines with another tinganta to form a samasa. Pibata khadata ityeva satatam yatra abhidhiyate sa pibata khadata kriya. There is a ashnita pibata, also very famous word. Lunch break or tea break is called ashnita pibata. Pibata khadata is again the same thing, a break where drink eat. That is the only thing that happens in that time period is pibata khadata. So again, we will study this particular type of samasa. So tingantasya tingantena sah samasaha. Example is pibata. This is the lot lakara madhyama purusha bahuvachanam. Khadata, lot lakara madhyam purusha bahuvachanam. Both of them combine to form a pratipadikam. Always remember, samasa creates a pratipadikam. So pibata khadata is not a verb. Pibata khadata is a pratipadikam. We'll talk about this in the upcoming one of the classes. So that is tigantasya tingantena sah samasa. So let's count again. Supam supa, supam tinga, that's only in the Vedas. Supam namna, that's kumbhakaraha. Supam dhatuna, that's ajasra. Then you have tingam tinga, this is pibata khadata. And then finally you have tingam subantena sah samasa. We will also talk about it in one of the classes. So tingantasya subantena sah samasa. Jahi jodaite abhikshnena ya ah saha jahi jodaha. I'm pretty sure you have studied all this in your basic samasa courses. So jahi jodaha, jahi is a tinganta, to kill. Lot lakar madhyam purusha ekvachanam hana iti dhatoh jahi iti bhavati. Joda is sambodhana ekvachanam of the name of a person called Joda. So Joda is a name of a person. Tasya sambodhana vachakam ekavachanam Joda iti. So hey Joda jahi, hey Joda jahi. Somebody is continuously provoking that Joda to kill someone. So jahi Joda iti abhikshena paunaf panyena aha saha jahi jodaha. This is again a tingantasya subantena sah samasaha. So these are 6 different types of samasas, out of which subantasya subantena sah samasaha, this particular component is 95% of all the samasas. Subantasya pratipadikena sah samasaha, this component is remaining 4% of all the samasas, and everything else, subantasya dhatuna, tigantasya tingantena, tigantasya subantena, is not even 1% of the samasas. So obviously, most of our module is going to revolve around subantasya subantena sah samasa, but there will be one class on the tatpurusha samasa where in a single class we will talk about subantasya pratipadikena sah samasa, subantasya tingantasya tingantena sah samasa, and tingantasya subantena sah samasa. The things that I'm not going to teach in the course are subantasya tingantena sah samasa, that is in the Vedas, and subantasya dhatuna sah samasa, because these are only 1 or 2 examples as I have shown over here. They are not discussed typically in the samasa prakaranam because samasa is inside that krudanta. So they are usually discussed in the krudanta prakaranam. We'll see when we go to the krudanta prakaranam. So this is the whole story of 6 different types of samasas. Now the question is, which sutram teaches these 6 samasas? Irony is, there is a sutram that will only teach first of these 6 samasas. That sutram is immediate first sutram, sah supa. So samartha of padavidhi, svamantrite parangavatsure, prakkadarat samasa. This is the place where the samasa prakaranam starts. The immediate first sutram, sah supa, tells us sup combines with a sup. So out of the 6 types of samasas, only the first type of samasa and only that type of samasa is given over here. The sup combines with sup. The subamantrite parangavatsware has the sup word, sup amantrite. So it has the sup word which comes as an anuvrutti. So the eventual sutra becomes sup supa saha. Sup supa saha samasyate. A subanta combines with a samartha subanta. That is the meaning of saha supa. A samasa is formed when one subanta combines with another related subanta. Subantasya subantena samartha subantena sah samasaha bhavati. So, samartha padavidhi you get samartha. Subhamantrite parangavaresware you get supa. You already have saha supa. That's how the whole sutra runs. So Sahasupa, Sup iti Anuvrittihi, Sahasupa, and Samartha is already the Adhikara. So Supa Sahasup Samasaha, Subantasya Subantena Sah Samasaha Bhavati. This is a Padavidhi. Ata Samartha Padavidhi iti Sutrena Samarthya Sati eva Samasaha Bhavati. What do we mean by Samarthya Sati? Vigraha Vakye Vyapeksha Samarthyam Asti. So Vigraha Vakye Vyapeksha Samarthyam, Samasta Pade Ekarthi Bhava Samarthyam. Now, this is something to be understood. In the Vigraha Vakya, it is your intention of speaking which tells whether there is Vyapeksha or not. So, when you say Sitayaha Patihi, there is a Paraspara Sambandha because that is your intention. So, you have a Vyapeksha. But if you say Putra Sitayaha Pati Subatyaha, the same configuration of Sitayaha Pati, but your intention is different. Therefore, there is no Vyapeksha. So Vyapeksha depends on your intention, akanksha. So Vyapeksha samarthyam vaktuhu ashayam anusarati. When I said intention, it is obviously vivaksha, but also akanksha, which is what we discussed in one of the previous classes. So Vyapeksha samarthyam vaktuhu ashayam anusarati. Whereas ekarthi bhava is not something you can predict from the sentence. यदि तत्र समासः भवति तर्हि एकार्थी भाव सामर्थ्यम अस्ति. यदि समासः न भवति तर्हि एकार्थी भाव सामर्थ्यम नास्ति. So एकार्थी भाव सामर्थ्यम सूत्रे ही निर्दिश्यते. So what is encoded in Ashtadhyayi is basically the rules of ekarthi bhava samarthyam. Because only when there is ekarthi bhava samarthyam, a samasa is a result. Or in a different way, samase ekarthi bhava samarthyam asti. Atah, what is the sutras of Ashtadhyayi doing in the samasa prakranam? They are telling you the whole story of ekarthi bhava samarthyam. व्यपेक्षा सामर्थ्यम वाक्ये अस्ति परंतु एकार्थी भाव सामर्थ्यम सूत्रैः एव निर्दिश्यते because there is a sutram to combine सीतायाः plus patihi. That sutram tells you that सीता patihi has एकार्थी भाव सामर्थ्यम. So यदि समास विधायक सूत्रम वर्तते तर्हि एकार्थी भाव सामर्थ्यम अस्ति अन्यथा नास्ति. उदाहरणं सीतायाः पतिः इत्यत्र सीतायाः तथा पतिः एतयोः मध्ये व्यपेक्षा समासे कृते सीतापतिः इत्यत्र एकार्थी भावः. बट गोइंग बैक टू द ओरिजिनल सूत्रम सुप समर्थेन सुपः सह समस्यते सीतायाः पतिः इत्यत्र सीतायाः इति सुबन्तेन सह पतिः इति समर्थं सुबन्तं समस्यते. अनेन प्रकारेण सुप सुपा समासः, first of the 6 types, सुप सुपा समासः, and only the first of the 6 types is indicated by सह सुपा. So घटक पदार्थान् अनुसृत्य समासस्य षड्भेदाः कृताः सन्ति. एतेभ्यः केवलं प्रथमः भेदः सुबन्तस्य सुबन्तेन समासः इति भेदः एव अनेन सूत्रेण उच्यते. अन्ये प्रकारकाः भेदाः अनेन सूत्रेण न उच्यन्ते. तर्हि ते भेदाः पाणिनीदृष्ट्या उचिताः सन्ति वा इति प्रश्ने कृते पाणिनेः दृष्ट्या अपि तेषां साधुत्वज्ञापनार्थं सह सुपा इति सूत्रस्य योगविभागः क्रियते. The Sahasuta Supa Sutram is broken down. You get 2 components. The first component is Saha, the second component is Supa. You break down the Sutram. This is a Yoga Vibhaga. We have seen the topics of examples of Yoga Vibhaga earlier. So you break down the Sutram. One Sutram becomes a Saha, second Sutram becomes a Supa. The second sutram is easy. You take the anuvritti of saha in the second sutram. So second sutram eventually becomes a saha supa, whose meaning we have already studied. Sup samarthena supa saha samasyate. So second sutram is what now gives sup plus sup, sup supa samasaha. What about the first vibhaga? The first vibhaga is saha, and see how brilliantly the commentators find a way out of everything. The first part of the Yoga Vibhaga is Saha. They bring the word Samartha down over here from Samartha Padavidhi. सो समर्थः पदविधिः इत्यस्मात् सूत्रात् समर्थ इति शब्दः अत्र अनुवृत्तिरूपेण स्वीक्रियते. समर्थं समर्थेन सह समस्यते. So one samartha or even you can say sup is taken as an anuvritti. Sup samarthena sah samasyate. So when you combine sup samarthena sah samasyate, you get all the remaining three types: sup plus dhatu, sup plus ting, and sup plus nama. And then with samartham samarthena sah samasyate, you get the remaining two types: ting plus ting and ting plus sup. So in this way, by brilliantly taking various anuvrittis, simply the sutram saha can capture all the types of samasas. It is obviously tricks of the trade. It is a way to justify some siddhanta from Panini's point of view. Yoga Vibhaga is not certified by Panini ever. It is a trick used by later commentators, later Vaiyakarnas to justify the siddhantas using the original Sutra Patha. So अत्र सुबन्तस्य सुबन्तेन समासः इति भेदः साक्षात् अत्र सूत्रेण उक्तः अस्ति. अन्य प्रकारकाणां भेदानां ग्रहणार्थं प्रकृतसूत्रे सः इति योगविभागः क्रियते. योगविभागे कृते सः इति पृथक् सूत्रं सिद्ध्यति. अस्मिन् सूत्रे समर्थेन इति अनुवृत्तिः भवति, सुप् इत्यस्य अपि अनुवृत्तिः भवति. सुप् समर्थेन सह समस्यते. So you bring sup, you bring samarthena, sup samarthena sah samasyate. So eventually what we have done is gotten rid of supa and we are saying sup samarthena sah samasyate. Subantam samarthena sah samasyate means yatha yogam tingantena pratipadikena dhatuna cha samasyate. And because of this yoga vibhaga, you can say ting also tingantena sah samasyate. So yoga vibhaga is a tantra, is a technique in vyakarana. अस्य तंत्रस्य प्रयोगः किमर्थं क्रियते? शिष्ट साधुत्व निरूप साधुत्व ज्ञापनार्थं क्रियते. You cannot randomly do yoga vibhagas on whatever sutras you want and try to justify whatever forms. So existing valid prayogas need to be justified. So yoga vibhagah iti atra vyakarnasya tantram asti. As tantra is a technique. अस्य तंत्रस्य प्रयोगः शिष्टरूप साधुत्व ज्ञापनार्थं क्रियते. अतः अस्य योग विभागस्य सामर्थ्यात् एकवारं सुप् इति अनुवृत्तिं स्वीकृत्य सुबन्तं समर्थेन सह समस्यते. तदनन्तरं ताम् अनुवृत्तिं विना अपि केवलं समर्थं समर्थेन सह समस्यते इति अर्थं स्वीकृत्य तिङन्तस्यापि तिङन्तेन समासः सम्भवति. So once you do an yoga vibhaga, you can bring whatever anuvrittis you want in whatever way just to justify things that are accepted by Shishta Prayoga. So yoga vibhaga samarthyat tigantasya tigantena api samasa sambhavati, and obviously that samasa is only seen in the Vedas. Pari plus abhushayat, that is an example. So Saha iti yogo vibhajyate. Saha is broken down as a separate sutram. Saha iti yogo vibhajyate. Subantam samarthena saha samasyate. And yoga vibhagasya ishtasiddharthyatvat कतिपय तिङन्तोत्तर पदोयम समासः सहस्य छन्दस्येव. So this is what the Siddhanta Kaumudi explains. Saha iti yogo vibhajyate. Saha is broken down as a separate sutram. Subantam samarthena saha samasyate. So subanta undergoes a samasa with the samartha. And yoga vibhagasya ishtasiddharthatvat. The whole purpose of yoga vibhaga is not to bring anuvrittis or anything, but just to justify something that is seen in the Shishta Prayoga. So yoga vibhagasya ishtasiddharthatvat. Yoga vibhagasya prayojanam asti ishtasiddhihi. Asya ishtasiddharthatvat katipaya tingantottara padoyam samasaha. In several places, you see a samasa with ting as the uttarapada, that is sup plus ting. So, katipaya tingantottarapada ayam samasaha saha cha chandasi eva. Tadrisha samasa kevalam vedeshu eva drishyate iti atra ashayah. Somebody is saying it is always a samartha samarthena samasyate. That is correct. It is always samartham samarthena samasyate. But the reason why Panini Maharshi added specifically supa over here is to block the other things like dhatuna na samasyate, pratipadikena na samasyate, and so on. But there are shishta prayogas because of which we have to do the yoga vibhaga and interpret the sutram in that way. So yoga vibhage krute prathamaha amshah sah, it captures all the complex samasas, and obviously the second option supa dvitiya amshah asti tatra sah iti anuvritti rupena svikritya subantasya subantena sah samasa iti arthaha api avashyam siddhyati. So going back to the previous slide, the one that has 6 types, subantasya subantena samasa is directly given by Panini. Subantasya pratipadikena samasaha is also given by Panini in an indirect way somewhere later in the Tatpurusha Samasa Prakaranam. I am going to talk about it when the time comes. For others, that is Subantasya Dhatuna Saha, Tigantasya Tingantena Saha, Tigantasya Subantena Saha, and Subantasya Tingantena Saha, we are doing the Yoga Vibhaga. So Yoga Vibhaga is done for these 4. Once you do an Yoga Vibhaga, you can take the Subantasya Pratipadikena also. This doesn't really matter. But there is a Sutram Upapadamating that will allow a samasa with the Pratipadika. That's how the commentary is interpreted. But in general, you have these 6 types and they are justified by Yoga Vibhaga. So that completes the first part of the classification. Samasasya ghatakapadanam चिंतनस्य दृष्ट्या षट प्रकारकः समासः सुप प्लस सुप प्लस तिंग, सुप प्लस प्रातिपदिकम, सुप प्लस धातुः, तिंग प्लस तिंग एंड तिंग प्लस सुप एते तत्र षट भेदाः विद्यन्ते. Let us move ahead. The next classification is pradhana padatvam anusrutya samasasya bhedaha. So before that, let us quickly revise the pradhana padam and gauna padam. I think all of you will remember it from the previous class. So samasta padasya nirmane yadyapi purvapadam uttarapadam cha swasya swasya arthau tyajatah tathapi kadachit ताभ्याम कस्यचित् पदस्य अर्थः समस्त पदस्य अर्थेन सह सरलतया अन्वेति. So that is called pradhana padam, the rest is called gauna padam, and the litmus test is use a kriya padam or a visheshanam. So सीतायाः पतिः सीतापतिः, अत्र सीतापतिः शूरः, नो चेत् सीतापतिः गच्छति इति उच्यते चेत् पतिः इति शब्देन सह तद् क्रियापदं तद् विशेषणं वा सरलतया अन्वेति. अतः पति इति प्रधानपदं, सीता इति गौणपदं. रामस्य लक्ष्मणस्य रामलक्ष्मणौ, रामलक्ष्मणौ शूरौ, रामलक्ष्मणौ गच्छतः, तत्र उद्वयोः अपि पदयोः तेन सह अन्वयः वर्तते. अतः अत्र उभयपद द्वौ अपि शब्दौ प्रधानौ, अत्र गौणपदं नास्ति. पीतमम्बरं यस्य सः, अत्र पीताम्बरः गच्छति इत्युक्ते कश्चन अन्यः मनुष्यः यस्य नाम विशेषणं वा पीताम्बरः सः गच्छति. अतः अत्र अन्यपदं प्रधानमस्ति. द्वे अपि पदे अत्र गौणपदे स्तः. So basically you have two categories. You have pradhanam versus gauna, and you have two more categories. You have purva versus uttara. So when you have a purva pada pradhana and uttara pada is not pradhana, that is called purva padartha pradhana. When you have only the uttara pada pradhana, that is called uttara padartha pradhana. When you have both of them pradhana, that is called ubhaya padartha pradhana. And when you have none of them pradhana, that is called anya padartha pradhana. I always given the example of this blood group tests, A, B, and O. It's exactly like that. Purva padartha pradhana, uttar padartha pradhana, ubhaya padartha pradhana, anya padartha pradhana. Examples. Now please understand, I am explicitly and specifically not talking about names like Tatpurusha and Bahuvri and so on. We are going to talk about it on the next slide. For now, just focus on the samasa and observe which padam is pradhana and which is not pradhana. So Krishnasya samipam upakrishnam. Something that is near to Krishna. So upakrishnam dadhi, the curd is next to Krishna. So upakrishnam dadhi. What does it have a nice anvaya with? Is Krishna same as dadhi, or is samipa qualifying dadhi? So samipa is qualifying dadhi. Krishna is not qualifying dadhi. The dadhi is not Krishna, but dadhi is samipa. Similarly, upakrishnam vanam. Ityukte vanam krishnam asti iti na, vanam samipe asti. Therefore, purva padam is pradhana, uttara padam is not pradhana. This is purva padartha pradhana samasah. Another example, ratrehe madhyam madhyaratraha. The midnight. Madhyaratraha atitaha. The midnight has passed. What has passed? Has the night passed? Not necessarily. Has the midpoint of the night passed? Yes. So madhyam atitam iti tatra ashayah. अतः अत्र रात्रेः मध्यम मध्यरात्रः is again पूर्व पदार्थ प्रधानः. And I know many of you probably in your mind have some random mapping. Avyabhava is Purva Padartha Pradhana. That is the reason. I mean, if you don't know that, well and good. If you know, because I'll teach anyway the same thing later on. But if you know that, this is a time to unwind that, because this is the reason these examples are given. The first one is the Avyabhava Samasa. The second one is the Tatpurusha Samasa. So Tatpurusha Samasa is also Purva Padartha Pradhana in this example. The Avibhava Samasa is Purva Padartha Pradhana in this particular example. The second one is Gauda Padartha, sorry, Uttara Padartha Pradhana. The Purva Padam is Gauda and the Uttara Padam is Pradhana. Sitayaha Patihi, Sita Patihi. These are simple ones. Kupam Patitaha, Kupa Patitaha. So here Sita Patihi Gacchati Ityukte Pati Gacchati. Kupa Patitaha Akroshati Ityukte Patitaha Manushyaha Akroshati iti Ashayaha. So that is Uttara Padartha Pradhanaha. Ubhaya Padartha Pradhanaha, both the Padarthas are Pradhana, they both have Anvaya with the Kriya. So Ramasya Lakshmanasya Rama Lakshmanau, Rama Lakshmanau Shurau, Ityukte Ramaha Shuraha Lakshmanaha Shuraha. Dvau va trayaha va, this is a Bahuvrihi Samasa. Dvau va trayaha va Dvitraha, Dvitraha Gachanti, Ityukte Dvau Gachataha Utatrayaha Gachanti. So both have the Anvaya over there. And finally, Anya Padartha Pradhanaha, both of them are Gauna. Pitamambaram yasya sa Pitambaraha, Chaturaha Vedan Adhite, Chaturvedaha. So Pitambaraha Gacchati ityukte Pitam Gaccheti Tambaram Gaccheti iti nasti. Evameva Chaturvedaha Gacchati ityukte Chatvaraha Gachanti no chet Vedaha Gachanti iti nasti. Chaturaha Vedan Adhite, Chaturvedaha. By the way, this sentence has two meanings. Chaturaha is the Dvitiya Bahuvachanam of four. Chatvaraha, Chaturaha. So, four Vedas are being studied. Chaturaha Vedan Adhite. Four Vedas are being studied. This is one meaning. And the second meaning is a clever person is studying Vedas. So, Chaturaha Vedan Adhite. Sadly, the second meaning is more famous, but it is the first meaning that is actually more commonly used in the Vyakarana Shastra. Chaturaha Vedan Adhite ityukte Veda Chatushtayam Adhite iti Ashayah asti. So these are the classification based on the Pradhana Padatvam in the Samasa. So this completes the second part. Let's go back actually a few slides and explain or see where we are. These were different categories of the samasas. We talked about Ghataka Padanam Drishtya Samvargikaranam. We also talked about Pradhana Padartham Abhilaksha, Purva Padartha Pradhana, Uttar Padartha Pradhana, Ubhay Padartha Pradhana and Anya Padartha Pradhana. Now let's go to the one that is most well known and something that is going to be the topic of the remaining classes of this module, the Samasa Samnya Visheshena Vargikaranam. 5 types of samasas: Avyayibhava Samasaha, Tatpurusha Samasaha, Dvandva Samasaha, Bahuvrihi Samasaha and Kevala Samasaha. Out of these, the first 4, Avyayibhava, Tatpurusha, Dvandva and Bahuvrihi, are technically adhikaras, samnyas in Ashtadhyayi. So, we have Samartha Padavidhi, Subhamantrite Parangasware, Prakkadarat Samasaha. In this particular adhikara, Prakkadarat Samasaha, तत्र चत्वारः अधिकाराः चतस्रः संज्ञाः दत्ताः सन्ति. अविभावः, तत्पुरुषः, बहुव्रीहि and dvandvaha. Why are these samnyas given? They are for the sutra prayoga. Some transformations in the prakriya are only for avibhava samasa. Some transformations are only for tatpurusha samasa. Later on in the Ashtadhyayi, Panini Maharshi will quote these words, and therefore etaha samnyaha tatra ashtadhyayam dattaha santi. एताः संज्ञाः मिलित्वा समास प्रकरणं संपूर्ण रूपेण व्याप्नुवन्ति. So this is the entire samasa prakaranam. This is how it is divided. You have avyayi bhava in the beginning. You have tatpurushaha in the second number. You have bahuvrihi in the third number. And you have dvandva in the fourth number. And the size of the rectangle is actually telling you the scope. Tatpurusha is extremely large. Dvandva is just one sutram. Bahuvrihi is some 5-6 sutras. And this Avyabhava, it should be a little longer. Avyabhava is around, I think, 15 to 20 sutras. And the major chunk is Tatpurusha. But the point to understand is all these 4 sections completely cover the Samasa Prakaranam. So Samasa Prakaranasya Samasa Vidhayakam Sutram Etasu Kanchana Samnyam Avashyam Svikaroti. So let us start with the Avyayi Bhava. This is now what we are going to focus in a little bit more details. So Avyayi Bhava Samasaha. See how the Samasa Prakaranam is organized. So समर्थः पदविधिः सुबामन्त्रिते पराङ्गवत्स्वरे प्राक्कडारात् समासः सह सुपा अव्ययी भावः. As soon as he is starting the samasa prakaranam and telling that samasa is subanta combined with the subanta, he goes and starts the first of the 4 samasas, avyayi bhavaha. Starts from 215, avyayi bhavaha, goes up to 2121, anya padarthe cha samnyayam. This is where avyayi bhava samasa ends. Then immediately the second samasa, tat purushaha, starts from 2122. Tat purushaha goes on and on and on and on, entire remaining 2.1 and enters 2.2 and goes till 2.2.22. So 2122 to 2222, same number starting and ending sutram, 2222. This is where the Tatpurusha Samasa is present. Entire remaining first pada of chapter 2 and initial sutras, mini sutras of chapter 2. 2.2 is a very small adhika, very small pada. Only 38 sutras are there. द्वितीयाध्याय से द्वितीय पादः लघुत्तमः पादः अस्ति. Only 38 sutras in this particular pada. Out of those 38, again more than half till 22 is only Tatpurusha. After Tatpurusha ends at Ktvacha, the immediately third adhikar is Bahuvrihi. So no space is wasted. Bahuvrihi goes for 6 to 7 sutras. Shesho Bahuvrihi Anekamanya Padarthe Sankhya Vyasanna Duradhika Sankhya Sankhye Dingnamanyantharale Tatra Tenedamite Sarupe Tena Saheti Tulya Yoge. This is your Bahuvrihi section. And finally, the final 4th section, which is only one sutram, is Charthe Dvandvaha. So this is where the 4 types of samasas are done. What is after that? The adhikara is not ending. You have upasarjanam purvam, rajadantadishuparam, dvandveghi, and so on up to kadarah karmadharaye. After this particular charthe dvandvaha, where dvandva samasa is only one sutram, it ends. The rest of the sutras, starting from upasarjanam purvam up to kadara karmadharaye, these sutras tell us the rule of who should be the purva padam and who should be the uttara padam. So सीतायाः पतिः और पतिः सीतायाः, तत्र सीता पतिः इत्येव समस्तं पदं भवति. That is given by upasarjanam purvam. So like that, upasarjanam purvam, rajadandadishvaram, dvandveghi, harihi cha haraha cha does not become hara hari. It becomes hariharau. That is given by dvandveghi. So in this way, these remaining sutras will tell you which pada will become the purva pada and which is uttara pada. That is how the entire samasa prakaranam is organized. Avyayi bhava, tatpurusha, which fully spans 2.1 and goes till 2.2, then bahuvrihi, finally only one sutram of dvandva, and remaining sutras about the ordering inside the samasa. With this background, let us now quickly go through these 4 terms. So अव्ययी भावः, अव्ययी भाव इत्यस्मिन् अधिकारे पाठितैः सूत्रैः यः समासः सिद्ध्यति सा अव्ययी भावः. What is an example? आ कुमारेभ्यः यशः पाणिनेः. Tatra a plus kumarebhyah becomes a kumaram. This is an example of avyayi bhava. It is given by the sutram ang maryada bhividyoho. This sutram is in 2.1.13. That is the avibhava samasa section, because avibhava goes from avyayi bhavaha up to 2.121 anya padarthe cha samnyayam. The 2.1.13 is in that range. So 2.1.13 is avibhava samasasya sutram asti. And that is why akumaram is avibhava. Nothing great. It is not which pada is pradhana and which pada is gauna. The samasa classification of avibhava versus tatpurusha versus dvandva versus bahuvrihi is not done by looking at the purva padartha pradhana, uttara padartha pradhana, dvandva padartha pradhana, and so on. This classification is only done by looking at the adhikara in which the corresponding sutra lies. So, akumaram, this particular construction is created by angmaryada bhividyoho. Angmaryada bhividyoho lies in the avibhava samasa adhikara. Therefore, it is avibhava samasa. End of the story. We do not discuss purva and uttara padartha pradhana discussion. So, over here, this particular akumaram is avibhava samasa. Having said that, why your textbooks write purva padartha pradhana? Because most of the sutras generate it that way. So avibhava samasaha prayena purva padartha pradhana. Prayena, mostly. Prayena purva padartha pradhana. Parantu ayam sutra rupena uktaha niyamaha na अन्य प्रकारकाः अव्ययीभाव समासः अपि अवश्यं दृश्यन्ते. So for example, unmattagangam, this is an avyibhava samasa. It is the name of a desha, name of a place. Unmattagangam is avyibhava samasanta shabdaha. Why? Because it is generated by the sutram 2.121 anya padarthe cha samnyayam, which is in the avyibhava samasadhikara. But this is anya padartha pradhana, because Unmatta Gangam is the name of a country. It has nothing to do with Unmatta and it has nothing to do with Gangam. So aham Unmatta Gangam madhye nivasami, aham Unmatta Gangam iti pradeshe nivasami doesn't mean aham Unmatta asmi or aham Gangayam nivasami or anything like that. So it is completely anya padartha pradhanaha, but this is avibhava samasanta shabdaha. So even though avibhava samasaha prayena purva padartha pradhana asti, तथापि अन्य पदार्थ प्रधान अविभावः अपि अवश्यं दृश्यते. And why does Panini Maharshi want to give a name called Avyayi Bhava? He doesn't give any names randomly. The names have to be reusable inside Ashtadhyayi. So Ashtadhyayaः samnyaः Ashtadhyayameva अन्यत्र कुत्रचित् प्रयोक्तुं शक्याः. अतः अव्ययीभाव इति संज्ञायाः विषये अपि तथैव स्यात्. तर्हि अव्ययीभाव संज्ञा कुत्र प्रयुज्यते? All of you have memorized 1.1. Remember, avyayibhavascha. So 5 sutras in 1.1 tell about the avyaya samnya. Swaradinipatam avyayam. Tadhitasya sarvibhaktihi. Prunmejantaha. Ktvatosunkasunaha. Avyayibhavascha. So that's where the that's one of the examples, obviously. So we say avyibhava samnya pradeshaha avyibhavascha ityevam adayaha. So that is about the avyibhava samasa. After the avyibhava samasa is the tatpurushadhikara. So tatpurushaha is the adhikara. I have shown the sutra patha sutra by sutra for these adhikaras. So we will not go to the sutra patha again. So tatpurushaha ityasmin adhikare patitaihi sutraihi yaha samasa siddhyati saha tatpurusha samasaha. Kim udharanam chaurebhyaha bhayam iti chaura bhayam iti samasaha asti. This is again, why is this tatpurusha? Because look at the sutram. Atra sutram asti panchami bhayena 2.137. Is it in the range 2.122 till 2.222? Yes. Therefore, it is tatpurusha samasa. So chaurebhya bhayam chaura bhayam ayam samasa panchami bhayena iti sutrena siddhyati. Idam sutram tatpurushadhikare asti. Tatpurushadhikara is from 2.122 tatpurushaha up to 2.222 tvacha. And again, just like how avibhava was mostly purva padartha pradhanaha, aneneva prakarena tatpurushaha प्रायेण उत्तरपदार्थप्रधानः, परन्तु अयं सूत्ररूपेण उक्तः नियमः नास्ति। अन्यप्रकारकाः तत्पुरुषाः अवश्यं दृश्यन्ते। यू हैव अन्यपदार्थप्रधान तत्पुरुषः, यू हैव पूर्वपदार्थप्रधान तत्पुरुषः। सो अर्धं फलस्य, हाफ पार्ट ऑफ द फ्रूट, अर्धं फलस्य अर्धफलम्, अर्धफलं भुक्तम् इत्युक्ते फलं भुक्तम् इति न, अपि तु अर्धं भुक्तम् इति अस्ति। So this particular samasa is purva padartha pradhana. In the same way, there is an example of chaturthi tatpurusha samasa which is anya padartha pradhana also. So even though you say uttar padartha pradhana, it is with a pinch of salt, prayena uttar padartha pradhana. And where is tatpurusha samnya again used? Tatpurusha pradeshaha. So tatpurusha pradeshaha nayas tatpurushat ityevam adayaha. So there are other places where the tatpurusha samasa samnya is also used. Now tatpurusha samasa is so big, the adhikara is so big that obviously there are further classification, and I'm pretty sure all of you know this. And if you don't know, it's worth revising them. You have vibhakti tatpurusha like prathama, dvitiya, tritiya up to saptami tatpurusha. You have pradi tatpurusha and so on. And then you have a very special samnya called karma dharaya. सो कर्मधारयः अपि तत्पुरुष समासस्य एकः भेदः अस्ति. Those of you who have diligently memorized 1.2 already know this sutram, tatpurusha samanaadhikarana karmadharayah. So this is in 1.2.42, tatpurusha samanaadhikarana karmadharaya prathama nidesham samasopasarjanam eka vibhakti cha purvanipate and so on. So tatpurusha samanaadhikarana karmadharayah ityatra samanaadhikaranah tatpurushah. What is Samanadhikaranam? I'll explain it in one of the upcoming classes. But one type of Tatpurusha Samasa is called Karmadharaya Samasa. So Karmadharaya is a special type of Tatpurusha. A special group, a small category of Tatpurusha is called Karmadharaya. And even a further smaller category of that Karmadharaya is called Dvigu. So Dvigu, not to be confused with Dvandva. Dvandva is the main category. Charthe Dvandvaha. This is Dvigu. द्विगु इति कर्मधारयस्य, द्विगु इति कर्मधारयस्य अपि कश्चन पुनः विशेषः भेदः. So you have the bigger circle of tatpurusha, inside that the smaller circle of karmadharaya, even inside that there is a smaller circle of dvigu. So sankhya purvo dviguhu iti dvigu samasasya व्याख्या अस्ति. तत्पुरुषक समानाधिकरण कर्मधारयः इति कर्मधारय समासस्य व्याख्या अस्ति. Somebody is asking what is tat indicate. This is just the name of the samasa. There are theories on why avibhava is called avibhava and tatpurusha is called tatpurusha and so on. But I don't want to go in all these details. This is just tasya purusha tatpurusha iti prakarena asya vyutpatti diyate. This is just the name of the samasa. So that is about the Tatpurusha Samasa. Tatpurusha Samasa is further classified into Prathama, Dvitiya, Tritiya, Tatpurusha and so on. But those are not technical terms. The technical terms are the Karmadharaya and Dvigu, which are mentioned. Moving on, the third category, as soon as the Tatpurusha ends, is Bahuvrihi. Again, a small portion, some 6-7 sutras. Shesho Bahuvrihi iti adhikare patitaihi sutraihi yaha samasa siddhyati saha Bahuvrihi samasaha. So, Shesho Bahuvrihi anekamanya padarthe and so on. Example is Pitam Ambaram yasya saha Pitambaraha. This samasa is generated by anekamanya padarthe. So starting from Shesho Bahuvrihi, some 7-8 sutras, this sutram is immediately after that. So it is in the Bahuvrihi adhikara, ata atra Bahuvrihi samasah asti. बहुव्रीहि समासस्य व्याप्तिः शेषो बहुव्रीहि इत्येतारभ्य तेन सहेति तुल्ययोगे इति यावत् बहुव्रीहि समासः प्रायेण अन्यपदार्थ प्रधानः. सो पीतम अंबरम यस्य सा प्रायेण अन्यपदार्थ प्रधानः, परन्तु अयं सूत्ररूपेण उक्तः नियमः न. अन्यप्रकारकाः बहुव्रीहि समासः अपि अवश्यं दृश्यन्ते. सो त्रयः वा चत्वारः वा त्रिचतुराः is ubhayapad padartha pradhanah. So trichaturah chhatrah ityukte trayah chhatrah uta chatvarah chhatrah. So both have the anvaya. So it is ubhaya padartha pradhanah. And bahuvrihi samne is also used at various places in Ashtadhyayi. Bahuvrihe rudhaso nish ityadishu sutreshu iyam samnya prayukta drishyate. Ano bahuvrihe and so on. I think we might have studied one of those in the Stri Prakaranam as well. So this is about the Bahuvrihi Samasa. And finally, the fourth category, Dvandva Samasa. Unlike the remaining three, Dvandva is just one sutram. So for all other three, you actually had an adhikar. Tatpurusha is an adhikar. Avibhava is an adhikar. Bahuvrihi is an adhikara. It may be a small 7 sutras, but Bahuvrihi is an adhikara. So, for example, if you go to Shesho Bahuvrihi, Siddhanta Kaumudi will say adhikaroyam. All these three are adhikaras. But for Charthe Dvandvaha, there is no need of an adhikara because this is just one sutram. Adhikaraha uttara sutre upyogi asti. But atra uttara sutre asya pada asya samdvandha iti shabdasya kopi upyogaha na. So this is just one sutram. Charthe dvandvaha iti sutreda pathitaha samasa dvandva samasaha ramascha lakshmanascha rama lakshmanau ayam samasaha. What I am writing? Charthe dvandvaha ityanena siddhyati. Copy paste. Ayam samasah charthe dvandvaha. Now that I am here, let me also fix that karmadhar. Yes. Okay. So charthe dvandvaha iti sutreda ramasya lakshmanasya iti samasa siddhyati. So every dvandva samas that you will come across, samahara dvandva as well as iteretara yoga dvandva, is by charthe dvandvaha. Samasa prakarणे dvandva samasasya ekameva sutram asti, परंतु द्वंद्व समास संदर्भेण विशेष नियमाः द्वितीयाध्यायस्य चतुर्थे पादे पाठिताः सन्ति. So let's take a look at that. Remember, in the द्वितीयाध्यायस्य तृतीय पादः there is the entire vibhakti prakaranam. After that vibhakti prakaranam, when we entire 2.4, there are some additional rules about samasas. Samasas are not being told. Samasa, the vidhi of the samasa, which samasa is tatpurusha, which is bahuvriya, and so on, is already told in 2.1 and 2.2. अत्र किमस्ति विशेषाः नियमाः लिङ्गस्य विषये वचनस्य विषये नियमाः उक्ताः सन्ति. सो द्विगुरे एकवचनं द्वन्द्वश्च प्राणितूर्यसेनाङ्गानां. सो सी द्वन्द्व part is there. In fact, starting from 243, द्वन्द्वश्च प्राणितूर्यसेनाङ्गानां all the way up to Vibhasha Samipe, there is a discussion on the Dvandva Samasa. So earlier, I can walk you through this particular section. You have earlier, for the one sutram, you have Dvigu Samasa. Then he talks about Dvandva Samasa. He goes on for Dvandva Samasa up to Vibhasha Samipe and Sa Napumsakam. Then he talks about Avibhava Samasa. Then he talks about Tatpurusha Anay Karmadhareya Samasa. Keeps on going and then again talks about Paravalingam Dvandva Tatpurushayo and so on. So what is happening in this 2.4 is the linga and the vachana of the samasas. Sometimes the samasas are in pullinga, sometimes they are in napumsakalinga, and so on. So look at this. Sanapumsakam avyayi bhavasya. This particular sutra means that a samahara dvigu samasa has to be in the napumsaka. I'm going to teach all these things. Avyayi bhavasya sutram over here means the avibhava samasa has to be in the napumsaka. So in this particular way, the lingas and the vachana. So if you go all the way to 2.1, dvigureka vachanam. So vachanas and lingas of the samasas are discussed in 2.4. So see how beautifully this sutra pata is arranged. It was appreciating. Starts with samarthya, goes over the 3 topics of samarthya. Once the 3rd topic, the vibhakti, is over, comes back to samasa and talks about the vachana and linga of various samasas in 2.4. So, अत्र समास प्रकरणे द्वंद्व समासस्य एकमेव सूत्रमस्ति, परन्तु द्वंद्व समासस्य सन्दर्भेण विशेष नियमाः. Why did I write this specifically over here? Because for other samasas, it is only linga and vachana that is being told. Dvandva samasasya sandarbhena iteretara yoga dvandva samasah kutra bhavati, samahara dvandva samasah cha kutra bhavati, ityasya niyamaha api atra pathitaha santi. So in this section of 2.4, you see the rules of where should be iteretara dvandva and where should be samahara dvandva. Why is pani cha padau cha only pani padam? Why there is no iteretara dvandva? This information is encoded over there. So that is samasa prakarana sandarbhena vishesha niyamaha dvitiyadhyayasya chaturthe pade pathitaha santi. द्वंद्व समासः प्रायेण उभय पदार्थ प्रधानः. सो यू हैव रामश्च लक्ष्मणश्च राम लक्ष्मणौ, रामः अपि गच्छति लक्ष्मणः अपि गच्छति, परन्तु अयं सूत्ररूपेण उक्तः नियमः न. In fact, samahara dvandva is specifically anya padartha pradhana, because samahara dvandva is talking about samahara and not about individual components. So dantaha cha oshtham cha anayoho samahara dantoshtham. is specifically used as an organ of pronunciation which is different than danta and oshtha. So dantostham iti dvandva samasa parantu ayam anya padartha pradhanah asti. द्वंद्व संज्ञा द्वंद्वे च इत्यादिषु सूत्रेषु प्रयुक्ता दृश्यते. So I think you have memorized द्वंद्वे च विभाषा जसी प्रथम चरम and so on. You have memorized that part. So द्वंद्वे च इत्यादिषु प्रयुक्ता दृश्यते. There is a question. So 2.4 speaks of all other samasas or only dvandva? See, for all other samasas, you don't need this kind of classification. Only for dvandva, you need that classification. So a significant portion of 2.4 is on dvandva. But then there are topics of avyabhava and tatpurusha and so on, specifically associated with linga and vachana. So as I mentioned, as I showed over here in 2.4, it is talking about dvigu. It is talking about dvandva. Go a little bit later down, it is talking about avyabhava, it is talking about tatpurusha, karmadharaya. Then a little bit later, again, it is talking about paravalingam, dvandva, tatpurushayoho, and so on. So in all these cases, till I think ardharcha pumsicha, till 2431, ardharcha pumsicha. See, pumsicha, ardharchadiganasya samasta padani पुल्लिंगे एव प्रयोक्तव्यानि and napumsakalinge, because napumsakam comes as an anuvritti. So ardharchardini pumsi napumsake cha prayoktavyani. That is where this particular linga vachana of samasa ends, and then later on subanta prakriya related and tiganta prakriya related discussion happens. This 2435 is a very, very important adhikara, ardha dhatuke. I'll spend a lot of time on this adhikara when we go to the 9th or 10th module. But for now, just understand that initial part of 2.4 is about the linga vachana of samasas in general, and for dvandva samasa, it is the difference between the itaretara dvandva and itaretara yoga dvandva and samahara dvandva. So that completes the 4 types of samasas. Parantu tatra anyah api kashchana bhedah asti kevala samasaha. I'm sure all of you probably know what is this kevala samasaha. Kevala samasaha, also called as a supa samasaha, is a special type of constructed samasa. Constructed, say the term has been constructed to justify certain samasas which cannot be derived by the existing sutras. So अष्टाध्याय्याम अविभाव समास प्रकरणे बहुव्रीहि समास प्रकरणे द्वंद्व समास प्रकरणे तत्पुरुष समास प्रकरणे वा विद्यमानानि यानि सूत्राणि सन्ति तैः केचन समासाः साधयितुं न शक्याः. प्रयोगे दृष्टानि कानिचन समस्तपदानि समास प्रकरणस्य केनापि सूत्रेण न सिद्ध्यन्ति. So पूर्वं भूतः, something that has happened earlier, long ago, पूर्वं भूतः भूतपूर्वः इति समासः अस्ति. This is a samasa used in the shishta prayoga. But there is no sutram in avyabhava tatpurusha bahuvrihi dvandva samasa prakaranam, and that's all because that spans the entire samasa prakaranam. So eteshu adhikareshu kimapi sutram nasti yena ayam samasa siddhyati. Another example, the very first line of Raghuvamsha, Vagartha viva. This is not a normal sandhi. Vagartho plus iva is not a normal sandhi. This is a samasa happening. Vagartha viva iti samasaha punarekvaram avyabhava tatpurusha bahuvrihi sandvandva samasasa sutraihi na siddhyati. So etadrushaha avyabhavadi samnyabhi anuktaha परंतु प्रयोगे प्रचलिताः समासाः केवल समासाः नाम्ना ज्ञायन्ते. And the kevala samasas are justified using the sutram sahasupa. So sahasupa iti sutrasya kaha arthaha? Subantam subantena sah subantam samarthena subantena sah samasyate. So purvam is a subantam, bhuta is another subantam, they are samartha, so you combine them. Vagartho is one subanta, iva is another one, they are related, so combine them. So kevala samasasya sadhutvam sahasupa iti sutrena svikriyate. किमर्थम सहसुपा इति सूत्रस्य कः अर्थः? सुबन्तं समर्थेन स्वन्तेन सह समस्यते. So this samasa is called kevala. Kevala means atra vishesha samnya nasti. Avyai bhavadi vishesha samnya nasti. Kevalam samasa iti samnya asti. Atah kevala samasaha. No chet sahasupa iti sutrena siddhyati. Atah supsupa samasaha. So in this sahasupa sutram, remember at the start we said sahasupa ityatra supsupa, first of the 6 categories. Supsupa samasa sahasupa iti sutrena diyate. So that is the supsupa name also used over here. So sahasupa iti sutrena siddha samasaha केवल समासः नो चेत् सुप्सुपा समासः इति नाम्ना अपि ज्ञायते। केवल समासः केवलं शिष्ट प्रयोगार्थः अस्ति। यू कैनॉट क्रिएट योर ओन समासas like this, only शिष्ट प्रयोग, and only when existing sutras of the samasa prakaranam cannot justify, you can resort back to sahasupa to do a kevala samasa. Somebody saying we need a sutram to justify. Correct. So remember, the out of the 4 sopanas, the third sopanam is sutram. If there is no sutram, you cannot move ahead. So सूत्रम आवश्यकम, परंतु पूर्वं भूता इत्यत्र सूत्रमेव न वर्तते, अतः सह सुपा इति सूत्रस्य आधारेण तत्र समासः क्रियते। Somebody is saying, what about Vagartha? Obviously, Vagartha is obviously a samasa. But then there is a sutram for Vagartha as a samasa. So that's what I'm not discussing over here. Vagartha plus iva is a different samasa for which there is no sutram. And why is this just not a sandhi? Why is this a samasa? There is some swara interactions going on. I'll probably talk about this in the next verse, not with the Vagartha example, but with some other examples. Or I think I've also explained it in one of the previous classes using Rajapurusha, but I'll also throw some light, hopefully, I don't remember now, but in one of the upcoming classes, there is some discussion on this aspect. So kevala samasa kevalam shishta prayogartha asti iti smartavyam. So Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi, this part, if possible, try to memorize. Those of you who are seriously studying Vyakarana, please memorize. Samasa Prakaranasya Prarambhe Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudikara Kim Vadati. He starts the Samasa Prakaranam with this. Now we will understand most of the stuff. So Samasaha Panchadha. Tatra Samasanam Samasaha. So Samasanam, Sama plus Samasanam Samasaha. Sahacha विशेष संज्ञा विनिर्मुक्तः केवल समासः प्रथमः। प्रायेण पूर्व पदार्थ प्रधानः अव्ययी भावः द्वितीयः। प्रायेण उत्तर पदार्थ प्रधानः तत्पुरुषः तृतीयः। तत्पुरुष भेदः कर्मधारयः। कर्मधारय भेदः द्विगुः। प्रायेण अन्य पदार्थ प्रधानः बहुव्रीहिः चतुर्थः। प्रायेण उभय पदार्थ प्रधानः द्वंद्वः पंचमः. Everything we have discussed so far, I have just represented it in how the Shastras explain this. So with this, we have completed the 5 different major types of samasas. Now the next few slides are actually important. If we cannot finish them today, I will probably continue tomorrow, but I'll try to finish them today by taking say 5-10 extra minutes. So the next important category is avigraha samasaha. Now understand this. For most of the samasas, for 99.9999% of the samasas, there will be vigraha vakya. Because vigraha vakya means vyapeksha. Unless there is a vyapeksha, you cannot decide purva padam and uttara padam, and you cannot create a samasta padam. So for most of the samasas, there is a vigraha vakyam. But ironically, there are some samasta padas in the language where a vigraha vakya does not exist. You just cannot create a vigraha vakya. Please understand, I am not saying vigraha vakye bhinnaha shabdaha vartante. Upakrishnam ityasya vigraha vakyam asti krishnasya samipam. Tatra bhinnaha shabda asti. That is not what I am talking. Keshanchana samasana vigraha vakyameva na sambhavati. So this is called avigraha samasa. An example is a Krishna Sarpa. Krishna Sarpa is a name of a specific species of black cobra or some cobra. You cannot classify it or break it down as Krishnaha Sarpaha because it is not black plus cobra. Krishnaha Sarpaha. Why? Because even though the Sarpa is white, if it belongs to that prajati, it is a Krishna Sarpa. So Krishna Varnasya Adharena Krishna Sarpaha iti samnya na diyate. Sarpasya Vishishta Prajatehe Krute Asya Shabdasya Prayogaha Bhavati. Ataha Atra Vigraha Vakyameva na vidyate. This is a samasa where no prakriya exists, no vigraha vakya exists, no alaukika vigraha exists. It is just a ready-made word given to you, like pineapple, which has a component called pine and which has a component called apple, but you cannot combine, you cannot logically combine pine with apple to create a pineapple. In the same way, Krishna and Sarpa cannot be logically combined. You cannot write a vigraha vakya. Writing Krishna Sarpaha is not correct This is by definition vigrah न विद्यते अविद्यमानः विग्रह यस्य अविग्रह समासः विग्रह विरहितः समासः. Another example, 5 minutes ago we looked at this particular thing. Unmatta Gangam. This is the name of a certain country. So why the name was given? Maybe the flow of Ganga was very strong in that particular region. We don't know. So अस्मिन् देशे गंगा प्रवाहः प्रायेण उन्मत्तः अस्ति इति दृष्ट्वा इदं नाम दत्तं स्यात्. परन्तु एतादृशः शास्त्ररूपेण विग्रहः न करणीयः. उन्मत्ता गंगा यस्मिन् देशे इति प्रयोगः अत्र न करणीयः. यतोहि तस्मिन् देशे सर्वत्र उन्मत्ता गंगा अस्ति, नो चेत् केवलं तत्रैव उन्मत्ता गंगा अस्ति इति वक्तुं न शक्यते. उन्मत्ता इति शब्दस्य अर्थः अपि भिन्नैः जनैः वक्तुं शक्यः. कस्मिंश्चित् काले उन्मत्ता अस्ति, कस्मिंश्चित् अन्यस्मिन् काले उन्मत्ता नास्ति, and so on. Or maybe there is some completely different reason why this name was given, but the derivation of Unmatta Ganga Yasmin Deshe is not an accepted vigraha, and therefore this is again a vigraha samasaha. As you can notice, samanya terms, name of a certain prajati of snakes, a name of a certain country, so samnya shabdaha, so samanya rupeda samnya vachaka shabdaha अविग्रह समासेषु अंतर्भवन्ति यतोहि कृत्रिम विग्रह वाक्येन संज्ञा न अवगम्यते. This vigraha cannot tell you the samnya. This vigraha like Unmatta Ganga and so on cannot tell you the samnya, and therefore the vigraha vakya is not accepted. Yet another example, Uddarapka Pushpa Bhanjika. This is the name of a certain game, certain krida. Maybe that krida has something to do with the pushpa of a certain tree and so on, परंतु अत्र अस्य शब्दस्य विग्रहः नास्ति. अतः अयम् अपि अविग्रह समासः. So these are some rare examples, but when I say rare, these are actually in the sutras. So these are not kevala samasa, supsupa samasa or anything. Unmatta Gangam, Krishna Sarpa, Uddalaka Pushpa Bhanjika is all the examples in the sutras. So sutraihi uktaha ayam samasah avigra samasah asti. Now somebody is asking, can't we call a black snake as a Krishna Sarpaha? So if you, obviously you can call, but in that particular case, the word you are using is different. That is just Krishna Shasau Sarpaha iti Krishna Sarpaha. The word that I am giving over here is the Samnya Shabda, which is different. This does not have a Vigraha. You can always use a word that you want and it will have a Vigraha. So this is an example of avigraha samasaha. The second category is aswapada vigraha, which is I think most of you are aware. Aswapada vigraha means in the samasa there is a purva padam and there is a uttara padam. Purva padam represents certain meaning. Uttara padam represents certain meaning. So for example, upakrishnam iti samasta padam asti. Krishnam iti shabdasya kashanarthaha. Upa iti shabdasya kashanarthaha. परंतु यदा विग्रहवाक्यं लिख्यते तदा उपशब्दस्य अर्थः अन्येन शब्देन निर्दिश्यते. So Krishna is used as it is. Krishnasya. So vibhakti will change. परंतु कृष्ण इति शब्दस्य अर्थः कृष्ण शब्देनैव निर्दिष्टः. परंतु अस्माभिः विग्रहवाक्ये किम् उच्यते? कृष्णस्य समीपम्. So उप इति शब्दस्य अर्थः विग्रहवाक्ये भिन्नेन पदेन निर्दिष्टः अस्ति. This is अस्वपद विग्रह समासः. सो केषुचित् समासेषु समस्तपदे विद्यमानैः पदैः समासस्य विग्रहवाक्यं नैव सम्भवति, अपितु विग्रहवाक्ये तस्यैव अर्थस्य निर्देशार्थं भिन्नानि पदानि. दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. तस्यैव अर्थस्य निर्देशार्थं भिन्नानि पदानि प्रयुक्तानि दृश्यन्ते. एतादृशाः समासाः अस्वपद विग्रह समासाः नाम्ना ज्ञायन्ते. What is aswapada? Swabhinna padaihi krutaha vigraha. Somebody gave an example over here, kumbhakaraha. So let's take that example itself. Kumbham karoti iti kumbhakaraha. Kumbhakaraha ityatra vigraha kumbhasya karaha iti na bhavati. Kumbha word is there as it is. But instead of kara word, which is a valid word inside the samasa, you will use the word called karoti. सो कुंभम करोति इत्यत्र करोति इति पृथक् पदम् आवश्यकमस्ति. सो दिस इज अस्वपद विग्रह समासः. Another, somebody is saying nirmakshikam, makshikanam abhavaha, nirmakshikam. So abhava is not used in the samasa and nir is not used in the vigraha vakya. Nir is equivalent to that abhava. So makshikanam abhavaha, nirmakshikam. Many other examples you can quote like this. Krishnasa samipam upakrishnam, upa iti shabdaha samastapade asti, tadarthakaha samipam iti shabdaha vigraha vakye prayujyate. Therefore, this is aswapada vigraha samasaha. Now understand this point very well, because many students are either, the next one that I'm telling you, many students are either confused about this or many students are not sure or have learned an incorrect thing. In the Bahuvrihi Samasa, you add extra entities like yasya saha, pitam ambaram yasya saha. In Dvandva Samasa, you add entities like cha, Ramaha cha, Lakshmanaha cha. These are not aswapada vigraha samasas. The definition of aswapada vigraha samasa is not that the words in the vigraha vakya must all be in the samasta pada. That is not the definition. The definition is whatever is the purva padam and whatever is the uttara padam, tesham arthaha taihi shabdaihi no chet tabhyam eva shabdabhyam nirdeshtavyaha. तेषाम अर्थानां निर्देशार्थम अन्यम पदम प्रयुज्यते चेत सह अस्वपद विग्रहः. If you are adding extra words, it doesn't matter. So pitam ambaram yasya saha pitambaraha. Who are the two words? It is pita and ambara. Is pita being represented by the word pita and is ambara being represented by the word ambara? Yes. So ignore yasya saha. Yasya saha is not going to classify your samasa as a swapada vigraha or swapada vigraha. Swapada means samase vidyamanaha shabdaha swasya artham darshayitum samarthaha nasti. Anyam padam tatra prayujyate. That is a swapada vigraha. Therefore, बहुव्रीहि समासस्य विग्रह वाक्ये यस्य सहा इति अधिकः अंशः विद्यते. This next part is very important. सहा समस्त पदे विद्यमानस्य पदस्य अर्थं नैव वदति अपितु समासस्य अर्थं वदति. सो अन्य पदार्थस्य अर्थः तत्र उच्यते. दैट इज ओके. अतः यस्य सहा इति अंशेन कृतः विग्रहः अस्वपद विग्रहः नास्ति. इन द सेम वे द्वंद्व समासे च इति पदेन कृतः विग्रहः अपि अस्वपद विग्रहः नास्ति. अस्वपद विग्रहार्थं किम् आवश्यकम् इति चेत् समस्तपदे विद्यमानस्य कस्यचन शब्दस्य अर्थः विग्रहवाक्ये अन्य शब्देन निर्दिष्टः स्यात्. So this is something I always thought that this should be taught in the very introductory classes. Sadly, this is taught in advanced courses on grammar. So this topic is addressed in Praudha Manorama, not even in Siddhanta Kaumudi. Bahuvrihehe api nitya samasatvam syad iti chet ma evam. So why he uses the word nitya samasa, it will be clear in the right on the next slide. But bahuvrihi samasaha api atra eva asti iti na svikartavyam. Evameva dvandva samasa api atra asti iti na svikartavyam. These are very, very crucial points. Many people do not understand or are confused about this. So now we have two different categories. Avigraha samasa, where no vigraha exists, and अस्वपद विग्रह समास, वेर समस्तपदे विद्यमानस्य शब्दस्य स्थाने कश्चन अन्यः शब्दः तस्य अर्थस्य निर्देशार्थं विग्रह वाक्ये प्रयुज्यते. The third category is a स्वपद विग्रह समासः. So यस्य समासस्य विग्रह वाक्ये समस्तपदस्यैव पदानि प्रयुक्तानि सन्ति, that is स्वपद विग्रह. So सीतायाः पतिः सीतापति. So स्वपदैः कृतः विग्रहः. सीतायाः पतिः सीतापतिः. पीतम अंबरम यस्य सः पीतांबरः. रामस्य लक्ष्मणस्य रामलक्ष्मणौ. पाणि च पादौ च अनयोः समाहारः पाणिपादम्. So पाणिपादम् also, that extra अनयोः samahara and so on is irrelevant. Pani is representing the meaning of Pani and Padam is representing the meaning of Padam. That's all that you have to check. So atrapi swapada vigraha eva, because anayoho samahara is the samahara artha, which is the external meaning which is indicated, parantu pani tatha pada etayoho shabdayo artha tu tena eva shabdena nirdishtaha asti. So this is swapada vigraha samasa. So this way we have three categories. We have avigraha, we have aswapada vigraha, and we have swapada vigraha. Now we come to an important term called nitya samasa. This is what you would have probably studied. Nitya samasa is avigraha samasa and aswapada vigraha samasa. So out of the three categories, avigraha samasa and aswapada vigraha samasa are called nitya samasas. The swapada vigraha samasa is called anitya samasa. Now before we go ahead, understand this. Nitya is not compulsory over here. Nitya इत्युक्ते समासा करणीया एव विग्रहवाक्यं लेखितुं न शक्यते इति नास्ति. समासः विवक्षाम् अनुसरति. If your very first step itself is gone, no vivaksha, then what will you go ahead with the third and the fourth step? So तत्र नित्य समासः इत्युक्ते समासः करणीयः एव इति नास्ति. So कृष्णस्य समीपम is a perfectly valid sentence. Upakrushtam is also a perfectly valid word. So even though it is aswapada vigraha and therefore nitya samasa, vakya rupena krishnasya samipam iti avashyam prayuktum shakyam. So then why it is called nitya samasa? The explanation is very simple. If you take purva padam and uttara padam, like if you decide to take upa and krishnam as purva padam and uttara padam, then you have no choice but to make a samasa. यदि विग्रहवाक्यं लेखनीयम् अस्ति तर्हि उपशब्दस्य प्रयोगं न कर्तुं शक्यते. यदि विग्रहवाक्यं लेखनीयं तर्हि तत्र नूतनः शब्दः आवश्यकः. अतः पदद्वयस्य आधारेण समासे विद्यमानं यत् पदद्वयं तस्य आधारेण केवलं समासः एव करणीयः, नित्यं समासः एव करणीयः. Therefore it is called as nitya samasa. Is as simple as that. So व्याकरण शास्त्रे अविग्रह समासः नो चेत् अस्वपद विग्रह समासः नित्य समासः नाम्ना ज्ञायते. दिस इज अ लाइन फ्रॉम सिद्धांत कौमुदी. अविग्रहः नित्य समासः, अस्वपद विग्रहः वा नित्य समासः. व्हाट डज इट मीन? यस्य समासस्य विग्रहः नैव संभवति तथा च यस्य समासस्य विग्रहे समस्त पदस्य शब्दस्य अर्थं दर्शयितुम् अन्यत् पदं प्रयुज्यते सः नित्य समासः. So this is the first two categories. And nitya samasa ityukte nityam samasa bhavati iti na samasta padasya ghataka padan upayujya nityam samasa eva karniyah. Upa plus krishnam cannot be combined to form a sentence. In case of uddalaka pushpa bhajjika or krishna sarpa, there also you cannot even write a vigraha vakya. But in all other, for example, aswapada vigraha, कृष्णस्य समीपमिति भिन्नरूपेण वाक्यं निर्मातुं शक्यते, परन्तु समस्तपदस्य घटकपदान् उपयुज्य समासः एव करणीयः. दैट्स व्हाई इट्स कॉल्ड नित्य समासः. व्याकरणशास्त्रे स्वपद विग्रह समासः नित्य समासः. इफ इट इज स्वपद पीतम अंबरम यस्य सा पीतांबरः, सो यस्य समासस्य विग्रहे समस्तपदानि स्वस्वस्य अर्थम् अवश्यं निर्दिशन्ति सः अनित्य समासः. अतः पीतम तथा अंबरम इति शब्दौ उपयुज्य समासः अपि कर्तुं शक्यते, वाक्यमपि लेखितुं शक्यते इति आशयः. सो समस्तपदस्य घटकपदान् उपयुज्य नित्यं समासः एव करणीयः इति न, अपि तु वाक्यमपि निर्मातुं शक्यं. सो इट इज कॉल्ड अनित्य समासः. So this is nitya samasah versus anitya samasah. An important point to understand is, unlike that classification of tatpurusha versus avyibhava versus dvandva and so on, samasah nitya asti ut anityah asti iti kevalam vigrah vakya lekhanartham avashyakam. समास कार्ये तस्य किमपि महत्वं नास्ति. So Panini Maharshi does not write sutras for only for nitya samasas or only for, at least I don't remember. So but there are, I don't think there are any sutras only, I mean there are sutras that will give nitya samasas. There are sutras that will give anitya samasas. But nitya and anitya are not technical terms in Vyakarana Shastra. So samasa nityah asti uta anitya asti iti kevalam vigraha lekhanartham avashyakam. Samasa prakriyayam, if it is a nitya samasa, do this karya. If it is anitya samasa, do some other karya. Tadrisham mahatvam nasti. Parantu avyibhavadinam shabdanam tadrisham mahatvam asti. If there is avyibhava samasa, do this karya. If there is a tatpurusha samasa, do this karya. We are going to learn all that in tomorrow's class, but that is very crucial in the prakriya. Parantu nitya anityatvasya atra samasa prakriyayam mahatvam nasti. I'll take 10 more minutes because I think only 2 or 3 slides are remaining. The next special category of the samasas. Now there are vishesha prakarakaha samasaha. The next special category of the samasa is aluk samasa. Again, all of you are expected to know this. If not, open your samasa book of Sanskrit Bharati, very well written book, and please read it before coming to the next class. So aluk samasa is the samasa where purva padasya vibhaktehe lopaha na bhavati. So mostly in 99% of the cases purva padasya vibhaktehe lopaha avashyam bhavati. Sitayaha patihi becomes Sitapati. परंतु अलुक समासः इत्युक्ते सः समासः यत्र पूर्वपदस्य विभक्तेः लोपः न भवति. सो वनेचरः, युधिष्ठिरं द्वैतवने वनेचरः. सो वनेचरति इति वनेचरः. अत्र वने इति शब्दस्य सप्तमी विभक्तेः लोपः न जातः. कंठे कालः यस्य सः कंठे कालः. हाँ, वेरी नाइस एग्जांपल. आत्मने पदम परस्मै पदम. सो आत्मने परस्मै, there is no lopa happening over here. The purva pada is not undergoing a lopa. The vibhakti is not removed. That is the aluk samasa. Ashtadhyayi has a full adhikara on aluk samasa. Very beautiful adhikara. Aluguttara pade. So in aluguttara pade, there is the entire prakaranam of aluk samasa. Right, fourth sutram over here, or some sixth sutram over here. Atma, no, which sutram? Parasya cha. Look at this. Parasya cha वैयाकरणाख्यायां चतुर्थ्याः. सो चतुर्थ्यन्तं पदम अलुक भवति. सो आत्मने पदम, युधिष्ठिरः, परस्मै padam, and so on. So in this entire set, I'm going to talk about this again in tomorrow's class. Gavi yudhibhyam stira. Somebody is saying Yudhishthirah. I think this is in the 8th chapter. Gavi yudhibhyam stiraha. Does it say etasmat nipatana saptamyah alug bhavati? So look at this. Etasmadeva nipatana saptamya alug bhavati. He says samnyayamiti saptami samasaha. So this is again an example of aluk samasa. People are giving a lot of examples. I'm happy you have studied it. Come over here. Stokan muktaha and so on. I'll show you. Where is a stokan mukta in that aluk samasa? It is there right in the beginning over here. Where did it go? We are going to study that sutra. Panchamya stokadibhya. So stokan mukta, alpan mukta, and so on. We are going to study this sutra in the course. Okay. So many such examples. So aluk samasa is in the aluguttarapade adhikaro. The next category is very interesting. Asamartha samasaha. Sometimes there is a samasa even though there is no samarthya. Samarthyasya abhave api samasaha sambhavati. This is called asamartha samasa. Needless to say, shishta prayogam anusrutya eva ayam samasaha karaniyaha. So keshuchit saleshu samarthyam vina api samasa sambhavati. Example is this particular word asuryam pasha. Asuryam pasha is the name of royal woman which never go out and see the sun. They are always in their own palace. Whether it is not under arrest or anything, but they get all the facilities in the palace itself, and maybe for their protection, but they are inside the antargruha. They never go out. They never even see the open sky. They don't see the sun. So these are called asuryam pasha. Suryam na pashyanti. Antargruhe eva tishtanti. Now, in this particular Vigraha Vakya, na, the negative word na, doesn't have an anvaya with Suryam. It has an anvaya with pashyati. It is Suryam na pashyati. It is not na Suryam pashyati. It is Suryam na pashyati. Therefore, atra nakararthasya anvayah darshana kriyaya sah asti. Suryapadena nasti. But when the samasa is formed, it is asurya as one component and drusha is added after that. This is a part of the krudanta prakriya. So asurya is one component and drusha is later on added on that. So atra asuryam pashyati iti parivartanam krutva samasa kriyate. So asuryam is asamartha samasa. You have nay combined with surya. That is asamartha samasa. And in the same way, apunargeyaha, na punaha geyaha. So, punaha na geyaha iti arthaha. Something that should not be sung again. सो अगेन न इत्यस्य अन्वयः गेयः इत्यनेन अस्ति, पुनः इत्यनेन न, अतः अपुनर्गेयः इत्यत्र अपुनः इति असमर्थसमासः. Another example, very well known to you all, anachi cha. What is the meaning of the sutram? Achi dvitvam na bhavati. So who is connected with na? It is dvitva. Dvitvam na bhavati. Achi na bhavati iti nasti. Achi dvitvam na bhavati iti asti. Therefore, when you are combining na with achi, that is also a samartha samasa. So a samartha samasa is a samasa where a samasa happens without any samarthya between the corresponding padas. So this is asamartha samasa. One last slide and then two last slides actually, but explanation is only for one slide. The next important samasa is gamakatvat samasa. Please pay attention. This is something many of you might not be knowing. So let us understand what is gamakatvat samasa. The general rule in the samasa is that whenever you have a gauda pada in the samasa, it cannot have an anvaya outside the samasa. So Sitapati, I have given an example in the previous class also. So when you say Sitapatihi and you add a word called Shuraha, you can have an anvaya of Patihi with Shuraha. Patihi Shuraha asti iti arthaha. But Gauna Pada cannot have an anvay outside. You cannot say Janakyaha Sitapati, Savisheshananam Mrittirna, and you cannot say Sitapati Shura or anything like that. The Gauna Pada in a samasa is completely absorbed in the samasa. It cannot be exposed. It is like a private function. It cannot be exposed outside. Sita cannot have an anvaya outside. So, Vigraha Samaste Pade Yad Gauna Padam तस्य वाक्ये अन्वयः अन्यत्र न संभवति इति सामान्यः नियमः. If there is such an anvaya, जानक्याः सीतायाः पतिः, तर्हि समासः न संभवति. So सविशेषणानां वृत्तिर्न वृत्तस्य वा विशेषणयोगो न. We have discussed this in the previous class. But in some cases, ironically, समस्तपदेन अर्थः सरलरूपेण अवगम्यते इति कारणेन एतादृशः समासः कृतः दृश्यते. One example, or the most common example, I'll wait here for 30 seconds. Does anybody know of any example over here? If you have studied somewhere else, you might know an example. It's just one word that you have to type. If somebody knows, you can type. Okay, I am not seeing anything. So, an example, very, very well known and very simple word, Gurukulam. What is Gurukulam? Guroho Kulam. Now, how is this word used? Devdattasya Gurukulam. So, when you say Devdattasya Guroho Kulam, the family or the kula of the guru of Devadatta. Look at this, Devdattasya Guroho Kulam. Isn't it exactly same as Janakyaha Sitaya Pati, or say something else, Mithilayaha Sitayaha Patihi. Mithilayaha, so that is Sambandha Shashti. Sitayaha Patihi. So Devdattasya Guroho Kulam ityatra Devdattasya Gurukulam iti samasaha bhavati. Now what is happening? In this particular statement, Devdattasya Gurukulam, this is the Shashti Tatpurusha Samasa, Guroho Kulam. So it is Uttara Padartha Pradhana. So Devdattasya Gurukulam ityatra kevalam Gurukulam iti shabdam svikurmaha. Tatra anvayaha Gurukulam Uttamam means what? Kulam Uttamam iti arthaha. So this is Uttara Padartha Pradhana, which means Guru is Gauna word in this particular Samasa. But when you are saying Devadattasya Gurukulam, the Devadattasya word only has an anvaya with Guru, not with Kulam. It is not the Kula of Devadatta, it is the Guru of Devadatta and Kula of that. Compare and contrast this with Sita Patihi Shuraha. The Shuraha word has direct anvaya with the Patihi. But here, Devadattasya Gurukulam, Devadatta is an external word. External word has an anvaya with the Gauna component of the samasa. The Devdattasya iti shabdaha Gurukulam ityatra vidyamanena Guru shabdena saha anveti. Gurukulam iti samastapadena na anveti. Direct anvaya does not happen. So it is not the Kula of Devadatta, it is the Guru of Devadatta whose Kula is being discussed. कुलं देवदत्तस्य नास्ति, केवलं गुरुः एव देवदत्तस्य इति आशयः। इत्युक्ते अत्र गुरु इति गौणशब्दस्य अन्वयः समासाद् बहिः विद्यमानेन देवदत्तस्य इति पदेन सह विद्यते। The gauna component of a samasa opens it up to do an anvaya with an external entity. This is gamakatvat samasa. Gamaka means understanding. We can say maya gamyate. So gamyate means avagamyate. That is what gamyate is. So I can understand this samasa, therefore a samasa is done. So in the Shishta Prayogas, such Prayogas are easily understood. Ata avagamanam sarala rupena bhavati. So this is gamakatvat samasaha. So Devadattase Gurukulam ityatra vastutaha savisheshananam vrittirna vrittaseva visheshana yogo noiti nyayena samasaha naiva sambhavati. Parantu samasta pade कृते अपि अर्थागमने क्लेशः नास्ति. अतः अत्र समासा शिष्ट प्रयोगेषु स्वीकृता अस्ति. This is गमकत्वात् समासा. It is also called सापेक्षत्वेपि गमकत्वात् samasa. So this is the line you will find in the commentaries more often. Why? Because there is a certain category of words called sapeksha words. When you say guru, there is always an apeksha of a shishya. A guru cannot be a guru unless there is a shishya. So guru word is always a sapeksha. It is always incomplete unless the information of that shishya is given. And therefore, that shishya entity can link with guru even when guru is gauna. That is the meaning of sapekshatvepi gamakatvat samasaha. Another example, Devdattasya bhratrujaya. Again, Bhratuhu Jaya, Bhratrujaya. Bhratru is a Gauna Shabda. Bhratrujaya Gachati. Ityukte Jaya Gachati iti ashaya asti. But you can link that Bhratru word with Devadatta. Devdattasya Bhratrujaya means Devdattasya Bhratuhu Jaya. Why again this is doable? Because Bhratru is a Sapeksha word. Bhratru ityukte kasya bhratru. It is a half complete word. The relationship cannot be complete unless the other end is available. So bhratru ityukte devadattasya bhratru. That bond is bond in the sense the relationship bond. Relationship in the sense the sapekshatva like guru shishya. That meaning semantic bond is very strong. Therefore, the gauna word called bhratru can undergo a samasa with devadatta. अतः अत्रापि देवदत्तस्य इति शब्दः समासस्य गौणपदेन भ्रातृपदेन सह अन्वेति न हि भ्रातृजाया इति समस्तपदेन. अतः अत्रापि गमकत्वात् समासः स्वीक्रियते. An important point to understand, we goes without saying, gamakatvat samasah, asamartha samasa, all those kind of keval samasa, shishta prayogan anusrutteva sambhavati, etadushani samastapadani asmabhi na nirmatavyani. So with this we finish today's class, but there is 5 more minutes that I want to take. If you go to Siddhanta Kaumudi, Vyakarana Siddhanta Kaumudi, in the Samasa Prakaranam, look at the Samasa Prakaranam. It starts with Avyabhava, Tatpurusha, Bahuvrihi, Dvandva, Eka. See how many chapters are there. Eka Shesha, Sarva Samasa Shesha, Sarva Samasanta, Aluk Samasa and Samasa Shriya Vidhi. These are all chapters from the Samasa Prakaranam. Out of that, Sarva Samasa Shesha Prakaranam is very interesting. The Sarva Samasa Shesha Prakaranam does not have any sutras. It has only 5 lines of description. I have copied that 5 lines of description over here. Your task in the homework today is to explain this in your own words. So, swabhashaya asya vyakhyanasya swavyakhyanam swatippani lekhaniya asti. So, one of the questions in homework is Siddhanta Kaumudyaha Sarvasamasa Shesha Prakaranasya Sampurnam Vyakhyam Swabhashaya Vivrunuta. And then second question, Samasa Bhedasya Bhedam Dvabhyam Udharanabhyam Sa Spashtikuruta. So, this is a very simple question. This is the real thing that I want you to write. Because of, in interest of time, I will not read. In fact, I can read. It will take like 2-3 minutes. Once I read, you will understand it is very simple. कृत्तद्धित समास एकशेष सनाद्यन्त धातु रूपाः पंचवृत्तयः परार्थाभिधानं वृत्तिः वृत्त्यर्थावबोधकं वाक्यं विग्रहः सहद्विधा लौकिकः अलौकिकः च परिनिष्ठितत्वात् साधुः लौकिकः प्रयोगानर्हः असाधु अलौकिकः यथा राज्ञः पुरुषः राजन् अस पुरुषसु इति. Everything is taught in the class. Nothing is new over here. अविग्रहः नित्यसमासः अस्वपद विग्रहः वा समासः चतुर्धा इति प्रायोपवादः अव्ययीभाव तत्पुरुष बहुव्रीहि द्वन्द्वाधिकार बहिर्भूतानामपि सह सुपा इति विधानात्। पूर्वपदार्थ प्रधान अव्ययीभावः, उत्तरपदार्थ प्रधान तत्पुरुषः, अन्यपदार्थ प्रधान बहुव्रीहिः, उभयपदार्थ प्रधान द्वन्द्वः इत्यपि प्राचां प्रवादः प्रायोभिप्रायः। So he gives counter examples now. सुपप्रति उन्मत्तगंगम इत्यादि अव्ययीभावे अतिमालादौ तत्पुरुषे द्वित्राः इत्यादि बहुव्रीहौ दन्तोष्ठम इत्यादि द्वन्द्वे च अभावात् तत्पुरुष विशेष कर्मधारयः तद्विशेषः द्विगुः अनेकपदत्वं द्वन्द्व बहुव्रीह्योः एव. The Vigraha Vakya has many padas in Dvandva and Bahuvrihi. Dvandva has ch and Bahuvrihi has yasya and so on. Tatpurushasya kvachideva ityuktam. In some places, Tatpurusha also has. Go and find examples in your Samasa book. Kincha supam supatinga namna dhatuna tatingam tinga subanteneti vidneya samasa shadvido budhaihi. Supam supa rajapurusha tigam paryabhushata namna kumbhakaraha dhatuna katapruhu ajastram tinga dhatuna katapruhu अजस्रम तिंगाम तिंगा पिबत खादता खादत मुदता तिंगाम सुपा कृंत विचक्षणा इति यस्याम क्रियायाम सा कृंत विचक्षणा. कृंत मीन्स कट, विचक्षण इज अ संबोधन फॉर्म. एहि अडादयो अन्य पदार्थे चित मयूरविंसकादौ पाठात् समासः. I will only explain this last line. What it means is that in the Ganapatha, if you go to Ganapatha, there is a sutram called Mayuravyamsakadishcha. In the Mayuravyamsakadi, there is a Gana sutram called Ehidadayo Anya Padarthe. This Ehidadayo Anya Padarthe is used to justify samasas like Krunta Vichakshana. So Ehidadayo Anya Padarthe cha iti Mayuravyamsakadau pathat Krunta Vichakshana iti samasaha. So see, 90 minutes ago, how much of this you knew? 90 minutes later, how much of this you knew? If somebody teaches Siddhanta Kaumudi, this is where they will start, not start, this is what they will teach in Sarva Samasa Shesha Prakadam, which is after Avyabhava Tatpurusha Bahuvri Dvandva Eka Shesha. Finally, they come over here. I think this is the right thing to teach right in the first class. I have purposely given this as a homework. It will increase your own confidence that with this course, the way it is being taught, you can actually understand Siddhanta Kaumudi now, even though we are saying Siddhanta Kaumudi is a pretty advanced grantha. So try it and please write commentary in your own words and submit the homework on the classroom. I will not take any questions at the moment. Samapayama. There is one question written over here. I'll just address that. Are Avibhava Samasas a Swapada Vigraha? So no, that is not correct. In Nirmakshikam and so on were some examples. Some of the Avibhava Samasas are Nitya and some other are Anitya. We'll talk about it when we talk about Avibhava Samasa. So Samapayamaha, the discussion for tomorrow's class is going to be the Samasa Prakriya. So I'm going to explain the entire Samasa Prakriya. It is not simple one. There are significant steps over there. So 90 minutes of the entire how the Samasa Prakriya happens, starting from Radnyaha Purushaha or Sitayaha Pati, how does the final Sita Pati Pratipadikam gets created. That's going to be the goal for tomorrow's class. Samapayamaha. अष्टाध्यायी जगन्माता यस्य चित्तात् समुत्थिता वेदानाम् उपकाराय तस्मै पाणिनये नमः. शब्द ब्रह्म समाराध्य कृतवान्यो विलक्षणं सर्वाश्चर्यमिदं शास्त्रं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः. येन धौता गिरः पुंसां विमलैः शब्दवारिभिः तमश्चाज्ञानजं भिन्नं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः. धन्यवादः.